Welcome back, Alchemist. This is Gordon, and we're playing Alchemy Factory, no storefront playthrough. And since the last time we were producing mercury, and as we can see, we have one on the way, we have one being researched right now, and one waiting as well to be researched next. So we're getting quite a good amount of points, and that happens very quick because mercury is produced at a really high rate. So we're very close to get another point. That's gonna happen right now. So next thing we're gonna do is we already saved 2 points, and I'm gonna invest them into factory efficiency and logistics efficiency, bringing it to, I believe this is 350% at this point. Yes, we already have alchemist skill upgraded to the point where it needs to be, and yeah, everything else is looking good as well. We didn't go that much into negotiation skill because right now we are at the level where we have enough contracts, or we're producing enough to satisfy everything, so we don't have to produce more. Therefore, we don't have to increase negotiation skill further down. But that's probably something we can look into later. So now with factory efficiency being higher, we see that heat consumption is also higher, so we might want to look into getting another fuel efficiency level. Fertilizer is quite good for now, so that's alright. But let's see what we want to build next, because I went ahead and I researched pretty much everything we want in level 9, our final level. We have gold, everything that has to do with gold ingots, because most likely we're going to use gold coins to make gold ingots. We need arcane shaper to make soul, and everything else here. Arcane processor for fairy dust, stardust is going to be done differently. Eternal catalyst done in arcane processor as well. Moon tier, very difficult to make. Well, not difficult, but just requires a lot of resources. And the Holy Grail, Moonlit Soap, because that's gonna be our biggest money maker. It's it's gonna make a lot. And our next relic, Luna, which is gonna give us even more points. So yeah, but in order to make Luna, we're gonna need to produce Moon tier, and we're gonna need a lot of money. Therefore, we're probably gonna be looking at making Moonlit Soap before that, because that also needs Moon tier. But that at least is an asset and not a liability. It's gonna bring us money, not consume. This one's gonna consume money. Yep, so let's start looking at how we can do a Moonlit Soap. And honestly, before that, since for Moonlit Soap we're gonna need fairy dust, we probably wanna make sure we have enough world tree leaves, and we have enough panacea potion, and pretty much all the supporting builds. So if we look at production rate of world tree leaves, 69.3, I am using quite a lot of leaf from this tree, and I was doing some math since I'm using it for 2 panacea potion productions, and I'm using it also for lapis lazuli production. So as of now we produce 69 and we use 61, so we cannot use any more leaves out of this tree, so we're gonna need to build another one. And also to support another tree, we're gonna need probably to build another panacea potion production. So that's probably what we're gonna do first, because without those builds we cannot build anything else further down the line. So let's concentrate on that. Let's go get another world tree seed, and let's work further down from there. Also, fair question to ask, where do we have, or how do we get 50 gold to get another world tree seed? If we take a look with all the productions that we had going on, we were making a good amount of money, so we can just get this 5,000 silver coins. And if we look here, 100 silver coins is 1 gold, so 1,000 is going to be 10 gold, and 5,000 is 50 gold. So let's just make some gold. Let's throw 5,000 silver here, and that's how we're going to get our 50 gold. But again, to get to this point, everything that we were building before leads to this point in a time where we have enough gold to further play and build our further down builds. Let's dive in really quick into how I prepare for my builds and how I do all the calculations and decide what do I need to build and how many of specific builds I need. So if we look here for Luna, we need Moon Tier. Also, we need Moon Tier to produce Moonlit Soap, and that's honestly going to be the first build we're working on. But how much of everything do we need? And let's take a look at Luna, because I had someone ask me a question. How many cauldrons do you need to produce all this? So we need 26.2 Moon Tier to produce Luna. And Moon Tier is produced in Advanced Alembic, and Alembic produces 70.9 if we supply everything that it requires here and ratios it wants it to be. But we don't need 70.9, we only need 26.2. So if we extrapolate, if we divide 26.2 by 70.9, we're roughly looking at 37%. So we only need 37% of what Advanced Alembic can produce, so therefore we need to supply it with 37% of materials. We need 37% of Fairy Tier, and if we take a look, we produce Fairy Dust, and we produce 52.5 a minute out of all this. And funny enough, one extractor needs 52.5 to produce 141, and we don't need that much because 262.5 times 37% is almost 98. So we only need about 98, and we make 141. So this is more than enough. Now, how much of stardust do we need? Also, same thing, 37% of 420 is 155.4. One cauldron produces 11.1, so 155.4 divided by 11.1 is exactly 14 cauldrons in this case. So the fair question would be, what's going to happen if we increase our alchemy level? Therefore making sure that our alembics and extractors output more, but in this case we worry about alembic. So if we start increasing alembic levels, this is gonna go up, but not by that much, to be honest. And I did some numbers. If we give it 3 more levels, you might reduce amount of cauldrons by 1. So instead of 14, you need 13. Now it's an uneven number, not as pleasant to work with. If you add 10 more levels, you're not even reducing it by 4 cauldrons. You need pretty much 11 levels in alembic on top of what we have right now to drop it from 14 to 10 cauldrons. Is it worth it? Well, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe at some point it will be, especially when we produce soul, and that gives a lot of experience and a lot of points. But for what we need it right now, I think 14 cauldrons is a fair number. It's not 300 as someone mentioned, it's just 14. So yeah, but if we take a look at soap, soap needs way more Moon Tier. But since soap is priced in gold, and honestly it's going to produce a lot of gold, I'm thinking, do we need to produce 21 soap a minute? Maybe not. So maybe we can use pretty much the same build, same amount, or maybe we add a couple more cauldrons, let's say 16 cauldrons instead of 14. We're going to produce a bit more Moon Tier, maybe about half of this, and we maybe going to produce a third of Moon Tier that's required for this build, therefore produce about a third of this soap a minute, and 6-7 soap a minute is gonna equate to quite a lot of soap a day, and it's gonna give us a huge boost in cash production, gold production each day. So yeah, we don't need to be at ratio. We don't need to produce everything that one blender can produce. As long as we produce something, it's already better than producing nothing, because it's gonna give us a fair share of gold. And in a case, if we want to expand, if we want to add more, it's always possible. We just need to build more of these to produce more stardust, because honestly this is the most annoying part out of this build. Produce a lot of stardust, but other than that, it's rather simple, rather straightforward build. So, and therefore for all this, since we're gonna need this much fairy dust, I'm thinking we might want to build not 1 but 2 more world trees, because we're gonna need 2 of these arcane processors, because one's going to be for Luna and one's going to be for soap. Also, I want to build another one of panacea potions, so we're going to consume a lot of world tree leaves. Therefore, I need 2 trees instead of 1. So setup is done. So all this corner is a production corner. Now on this side we have both of the trees. They're growing little by little, consuming their panacea potion and producing the tree leaves that we're gonna need to use later on. So what we're gonna work on now would be the stardust, because stardust is the next big project. And what we're gonna need to do for stardust, we will need to build 2 of the quad fertile catalyst builds, the ones that produce 4 blenders worth of fertile catalyst. One's gonna go on one side, another one's gonna go on another side, and right in the middle we're gonna have the stardust build, the one with 16 cauldrons. This big thing, big production line. So yeah, it's gonna deliver the fertile catalyst from both sides. It's gonna produce the unstable catalyst in the middle and fit into itself. And when that's done, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do the moon tier, and there's gonna be this little thing, because moon tier is not that difficult. What's difficult is just the stardust. So let me go ahead and collect all the ingredients, and I'm just gonna put those builds in here somewhere. Alright, one is up and running. We have another one waiting there to be installed somewhere in this area. But before we do so, we're gonna need to place the actual stardust build so we can properly space everything, because it needs to be spaced out properly. So we're gonna put that build first, but we're still collecting some of the ingots left, and we're almost there. Alright, let's properly connect everything. Alright, this should be good. Seemingly. This side seems properly connected. Everything goes through the splitters and prior to mergers. And it seems like we're already producing some stardust. Let's go take a look on the other side. Yeah, we need to properly connect this one as well. Okay. Alright. And oh, we need nails. Okay, let's do that. And will be good when this fills out. What are we doing? Okay, that's wrong. Gotta make sure nothing breaks here. Gotta watch them carefully. There we go, that's good. That's what we need. But it's important to watch it in the beginning stages, because it might start breaking. But when it's properly adjusted, then it's gonna be fine. Everything is calibrated and produces exactly what it needs to. So we see we got a bunch of stardust is ready. It's going to be sent via this cannon, and same on the other side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 cauldrons on one side, 8 on another, 16. I have more than I need. I needed 14, but I just reused build that I already have ready. So I didn't have to make anything else out of it. It's going to be fine. So now what we're going to do, we're going to actually place the moon tier build, which is going to collect everything for it. And I'll see if I'll just place it like this, or if I make it a bit tighter. And the last thing, we're going to place the actual soap build. So I tweaked it a bit, and it seems to be working a bit better. Yeah, so we are making fairy dust, sending it here, making fairy tier. Goes inside into advanced alembic, waiting for stardust. We're going to connect it to produce moon tier. Moon tier is going to go further down to be mixed with perfumed soap powder, which we already make out of this little build right here. And the build is tiny simply because of all of our upgrades into the alchemy skill. and yeah, and obviously into fertilizer. But yeah, alchemy was a big help because of the extractors and because of the blenders and alembics. Actually, blenders not included, but alembics and extractors making way more resources. So yeah, that helped a lot into making this build very compact. So let's just connect stardust and we can begin. Now we're making it. Yeah, we will, but we just probably need 20 for it to start making it, or a little bit less. And yeah, we're gonna have our first soap very soon. Oh, it's doing it. Let's remove this for time being. And we got our first Moonlit Soap. Awesome. Let's just put it into the box so I can collect it and turn it in for the quest. And the next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna start selling it. There we go, we just need 20. Well, it seems like we only needed 10, but we're good. Let's collect our 60 gold and unlock the next contract. And we can go ahead and install it somewhere. Yeah, probably somewhere here is gonna be fine. Let's see. Well, let's test it first. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, right. We need another one of these. And how much is it gonna pay? 60 gold per batch. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. Perfect. And I probably want it like this. Let's see if it's gonna be too close. If it is, we can definitely move it. Yeah, it's a bit too close. Let's move it. And this is perfect. There we go. Another contract is done. Actually, this is the last contract of the game. And it's working. We're doing it. We're selling the soap. Let's also turn in a little quest for a little bit of money. But we can remember when we're going to check how much we made at the end of the day to deduct 90 gold because that was just from this one little quest. So we see the day is almost over and we already dispatched 160 out of 240, so it's 2/3 was dispatched, and we're still sending more soap. We still have a little bit left in a day. So yeah, and that's taken into consideration that we're producing just 1/3 out of this. We're not producing it at ratio, right? So we're producing more or less about 8 a minute, and it's still not a bad result. So let's see what the day is gonna look like. That's good. This is awesome too. And 960 gold, which is 96,000 silver. Plus this 20,500. It's really good result with only having 4,800, little under 5,000 silver in expenses. Having more than 100,000 in profits is really good. So yeah, I think we are very, very good on gold. That's really good result. So yeah, soap was very good jump. Well, let's talk about what's next on our agenda. And if we take a look, we're almost at the finish line. So we're almost looking at Sol, but before that, we can look at Luna. And as we see, Luna just pretty much requires all the ingots that we already can make. We're already making steel and bronze. Copper is very easy, we can just smelt copper coins. Same goes for silver and gold coins, so those are easy. And Moon Tier, we can leech a little bit out of this build because it seems like we're producing more Moon Tier than we're producing of a soap, performance soap powder. So yeah, I think we can take a bit. Yeah. Plus, what I'm thinking is we're this close to finish line. Do we want to have a full-blown at ratio production of Luna? Well, I'm not sure about that because if we look at our upgrades, we've been doing just fine. Only using Mercury because we're already at maximum levels before we go into the infinite levels in our logistics and factory efficiency. We went into infinite levels already in our alchemy skills, fuel efficiency, and fertilizer. And we're very close to be maxing out negotiation skill as well. So do we need that much more experience? Probably not, because the goal of this playthrough is to be able to produce soul without selling anything off of the storefront. And we're getting there. And if we look at it, all we need is just one of each relic, then 25 perfect diamonds. And we need 5 cores, and we also need 5 eternal catalysts, which are not that difficult to produce anyways. We need resonant catalyst, and we need philosopher's stone. We can produce philosopher's stone out of gems, which are easily produced out of world tree cores, and we have so many of them. So yeah, we can just use the cores for that. And resonant catalyst is produced with aqua vitae, which we can either set a separate production, or we can just leech out of some of the existing builds. We can get some volcanic ash by crushing obsidian, and we have a bunch of fertile catalysts in other builds. So yeah, the question is, do we want to set a separate production for certain things like resonant catalyst, or do we just want to produce enough to make, well, how many do we need? Let's see. To make 5 of resonant catalysts or eternal catalysts, and just be done with it. Just produce 1 soul, and we win the game. So yeah, but here's the thing. The truth is that we can do either, because we already has our Moonlit Soap production set up. We can just keep upgrading the contract levels, meaning increasing the amount of contracts we can do per day. Because right now we were at, I guess, 240. I just put another level in it. We're at 280 right now. And being at 240, we were already maxing it out at 160. I guess we were 2/3 almost done, right? So we were 2/3 out of the entire contract limit. So yeah, we can just increase this and then increase Moonlit Soap production. So we're gonna produce way more gold, and with that gold, we can go ahead and put production of Luna at ratio. We can set production of Soul at ratio, but do we need it? This is that, because that's not the goal of this playthrough. That was the goal of previous playthrough, where we did not care about money. But in this playthrough, we're just trying to make one, and it's honestly easier than it seemed to be. So what it seems, we can just make 1 of each relics, and just a little bit of the rest of the ingredients that's required. And for that, do I need produce so much Luna? Probably not. So here's the plan. Here's what I was thinking to do. To produce 04 a minute, we need 30 of each of the ingots. So I already produced steel. I'll probably just go ahead and start sending this steel over there all the way. Same goes for the bronze ingots. And I can just copy one of these builds where I'm going to be smelting coins into copper. Just put it somewhere here so I can send it straight into the shaper. And just put 2 of the same builds for silver and gold ingots, and just call it a day. Connect Moon Tier, produce a couple Lunas if I want to use them for experience. I don't need that at this point. We're well into the levels. We're way over than what we need right now. Or just collect 1 and call it a day. But yeah, let me just connect a couple builds and have it start working. Alright, so everything is connected, and we see that both steel and bronze are flying in. And we're producing copper, silver, and gold locally. Yeah, just burning the coins. And we have more than enough coins because of our soap production. So temporarily I had to turn off the soap because I was running very low on Moon Tier. And I'm just solely using it right now to produce Luna. But we're making it. It's going little by little. We're going to make 1, and we can connect soap back to start making money. Because as long as we have 1 Luna, we can go ahead and complete the soul. So we can start working on getting everything else, like the gems, like the philosopher's stone. Yeah, pretty much just collect everything so we can go ahead and complete the main quest of the game. Alright, if we see on the background, we already made our first Luna. I don't think we need more if we're just gonna manually feed everything. So let's just start slowly but surely, collect everything that we need. And oop, okay. And let's place it into the containers. Yep. Almost there, we need more wood. Alright. Okay, so let's see what we need. Let's donate 1 Luna to it. Let's go ahead and pick up the rest, because we have a lot. We just need to wait for 1. We'll pick it up as soon as as 1 becomes available. And same goes for Venus. Let's go place a box so we can collect Venus. In the meantime, I'm gonna make the smaller relics, because I haven't made any of those whatsoever. Let's look at them. Yep, I haven't made any Jupiter, Saturn, or Mars at all in this playthrough. I went straight into producing the bigger ones. But yeah, we can collect what we already have, like World Tree cores, for example. Let's contribute those. We have more than enough at this point. And Eternal Catalyst requires Philosopher's Stone. And as for Philosopher's Stone, I have an idea. I already played with some recipes, so we can go ahead and do it. So Philosopher's Stone is very easy. Let's actually go ahead and feed it a couple Panacea potions. So yeah, but we can get into the actual recipe, how I'm making it. Let's remove it. So I'm making Sapphire just from World Core trees because we have so many of them. We don't know what to do with these cores. So let's just use them for good, since we're almost done with the playthrough. Alright. We got Sapphire. Now let's just add Sapphire. And I don't know anything. And make Emerald. And now let's just grab Emerald and add it to the same mix, and we'll make Philosopher's Stone. Is that easy? So I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat it, well, in this case 3 more times, because I have 1 second one cooking, so 3 more, and I'll see you in a second. Let's go ahead and insert other relics that we collected. So we have 3 top ones. We're good on World Core trees. Let's look at Eternal Catalyst. So we already have 5 stones that we need for it. We just need to collect 75 Resonant Catalyst, which we again can manually feed with Volcanic Ash and Fertile Catalyst. Just get 70 and be done with it. And we can leech Aquavitae from any build, because we just need 360. And if we check, any of our Panacea builds produces 840 and requires 480, so there is definitely more there to leech from it. So yeah, we can definitely do that. It's not an issue. So I'm gonna go ahead, manually do it, manually feed Volcanic Ash and Fertile Catalyst, and Volcanic Ash we're just gonna get by crashing Obsidian in a grinder, and I'll see you when I'm getting 75 Resonant Catalysts. So while we manually rigged this to produce slowly produce Resonant Catalyst, right? And then obviously we can remove this build. We can go ahead and also produce Perfect Diamonds. And Perfect Diamonds, I think the way we're gonna produce it, I'm probably just gonna use a Panacea Potion, Gold Coin, and Lapis Lazuli, because we don't need that much. All we need is just 25. So let me go ahead and collect everything, and we're just gonna throw it in this cauldron and really quick cook it all up. Alright, we're finishing up our last few Perfect Diamonds, as we can see. Yeah, since we have so many Panacea Potions, we have a lot of gold, and Lapis Lazuli was very easily taken from Mercury build. We just did this really quick, and we have all 25 that we need. I believe we also finished, yep, 75 Resonant Catalyst, so we can disassemble this build pretty much any moment. Yep. Let's go and deposit it manually. Oh, look, we also see another Luna just cooked up. So yeah, little by little we get in there. So as we see, 20 not gonna fit, so we're just gonna throw it into one of these boxes. and it's gonna go there. In the meantime, we can go ahead and insert this here and start cooking it slowly. But we need to collect it somehow, so we're gonna go ahead and collect it into the box. There we go. Perfect, we just need 5 of those. And all we have left is just our 3 lower level relics, Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter. And we can go ahead and also just place the assemblers or shapers and manually make those, because we just need 1 of each. We can make them really quick, right? Because we already produce all the ingredients that we need for each of these relics. So that's not going to be difficult. Let me go ahead and produce those, and I'll see you back when I'm done with all 3. Alright, so we prepared all last 3 relics manually. So we have Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. I don't know why Mars shows up as Saturn. It's probably visual glitch, but let's collect them. There we go. That was Mars, that's Jupiter, and that's Saturn. And we can go ahead and drop them into the soul. 1, 2, 3. And I think we are producing soul now. Yep. So let's give it a few seconds, and there we go. And we finally produced our soul. We can complete the quest, and I believe we completed the game without selling anything to anyone. Yep, it's ready. Let's go turn it in. Yeah, we completed it. We completed the entire main campaign, so continue. Yeah, that's all standard. So, yep. That's all it took. It was super easy. We could have automated Sol. We could have automated Luna. We just didn't need it much, because if we take a look, we have a bunch of points right now. We have maxed out pretty much a lot of things. We have our logistics and factor efficiency maxed out. We maxed out alchemy and went into infinite skills to level 8. Same with fuel efficiency. We got level 4 and level 5 in fertilizer. We have not even completed negotiation skill, and we did go to relic knowledge level 3 in our infinite skills. So yeah, that's it. Honestly, it was not that difficult. This challenge was very fun. There were times where we were close to be running out of money, but then we started producing a next contract in line, and it would give us another huge boost in money production. So yeah, I guess everything was accounted for and everything went according to the plan. So yeah, we are done with this playthrough. Thank you for watching. This was Corton, and I'm out.